Morning, everyone. Yeah, just kind of kicked back and chilling here. A little bit of rain coming down. Yeah, I've been up kicking around since about 2:30 this morning. Just not able to sleep. A lot of rain coming down right now. Thunder and lightning storms. Yeah, I'll give it about 5 or 10 minutes probably. Got a bit of Z. Yeah, I'll make it out of here. Hey, how's it going? Good seeing you in here. Just decided to come on way different time than I normally do. I'm normally on hours ago, but I've been kicking around since about 2 o'clock this morning and decided to see what was going on here. How are you doing today? Eh, cheers. It's never too early for a bong rip. Not to mention, we're only 2 minutes away from 4:20, so I'm going to hold on a second here. I'll pause it out for a minute. Hey, Road Music, how you doing? Work's been kicking your butt, huh? Yeah, we are alive. Work is the necessary evil, I guess, for us to make our way and live our lives. Hey, outstanding, Road Music. Sounds good. Sorry, just looking in the chat for a minute here. You all are up fairly early. You just at work, getting out of work, getting up for work. Well, I'm saying that being that it's 4:20 in the morning here, I'm unsure what time it is where you guys are. Oh, okay. 1 o'clock in the morning there. We're not too far behind. 9:19 in the morning. Man, time is on your side. Oh, it's 4:20. Cheers, everybody. Excuse me. Hey, Todd, how's it going? Cheers. So, are any of you growers? or just partakers. Been growing for about 3.5, 4 years now. So, yep, keeps me busy. It's a nice pastime to have. Saves me a lot of money too in the long run. I mean, right now I've got 9 plants outside and another 4 inside. Nice, Dallo, part-time grower. Cool, cool, cool indeed. Yeah, I never thought I would. I grew up in a family where my father ran greenhouses for a long time and then ultimately became a florist, and nothing I ever wanted to get into from that standpoint of things. But obviously, what I picked up over the years helped out a lot because, my grows have been fairly good in my eyes. So I think last year, my harvest, I pulled almost 3 pounds, which was pretty good. I was pretty pleased. Lasted quite a while. So we're hoping to have another run equally that good this year, which would be outstanding. Hey, JC, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a bit. You staying out of trouble? Or staying in trouble, whichever you prefer. Yeah, yeah, trim jail. I'm lucky. I have a son who loves trim jail. So that makes life a little bit easier. But yeah, it's a lot of trimming. That's the one thing they don't tell you when you grow. And initially, you hear everybody warn you about trim jail, but we do a lot of defoliating ahead of time as much as we possibly can, when we get near the end so that it's not as bad, but still a pain in the ass. I mean, you feel like you got arthritis and a broken back afterwards, and your neck hurts, your eyes hurt, everything from squinting, looking, trimming. But I definitely like the end result, though. Can't go wrong with that. Two dogs have puppies. Oh, oh, that's not good. Yeah, we were hot out here yesterday for a bit. Now it's just been pouring all night long, which is nice. Hey Vince, what's going on? Yeah, I'm in upstate New York. We have a big festival that lasts for 4 days called Harbor Fest because we're right on Lake Ontario. And yeah, there's just been tens of thousands of extra people in town. Big fireworks show last night, tons of boats, tons of bands, tons of everything that makes me avoid going into the city as much as I can. But that all ends today, so that'll be kind of nice. The city will get back to normal, so that'll be good. Let's do a couple of things here. Let's mod up some people into here so you guys can sub up to each other and stuff like that. So hold on a second here. Let's see if I can do this right. All right. I think I got everybody modded up in here. So that should be a good thing. I like it that way. That way, if I do something where I want someone to come up, you guys have a wrench and you can. You can also take a look at keep an eye open for people who are not good for the channel or the community, and we can deal with them as they need to be dealt with. And also, you guys can sub up to one another a lot easier, which is nice as well. If you see something interesting or bump into somebody that you really like on here, it's nice. It's just a quicker way to do it than to try and dig through YouTube and figure out what people's names really are or aren't are. So, yeah. Yep. No problem, Todd. No problem at all. So anybody got any good plans for Sunday for those of us who aren't in Sunday already? No problem, Della. No problem. I remember when I first got modded up and I had no idea what it was about. I know some people really do use their moderators to help their channels. Other people, it's, I don't know, a little lunch and do a little shopping. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I've got relatives in town from France who I haven't seen in about 15 years, and there's a good chance this will be the last time we see them because they're in their 70s and 80s. So, it kind of, I didn't expect them to come over this year, but it's going to be nice. Going to go over to my dad's today, hang out with them a bit, talk, chat, see what everybody's been up to. Make a cake. I don't know if you mean for me to make a cake for them or you're going to make a cake, but I could make a cake for them, but we're not getting together till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And my dad has this vision that work laundry, same old. Yeah, Dallo, I know how that is. Oh, you're making a cake, JC? What kind? We must know this information because, well, we're stoners and yeah, yep. Vanilla with vanilla frosting. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Scotty 420, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. This is definitely an abnormal time for me. Oh, an Oreo cake, Dallo? That had to be crazy. Crazy good. Was it an actual cake or was it like the Oreo cookie chocolate graham cracker crust kind of pie? Hey, Phil, what's going on? I've been doing good. Been doing good. Just keeping busy with the grow. And yeah, I was dealing with a few things in the community lately, but I've decided that like every other community and everything else in the world, we're a fickle bunch of people at times. It's just different. I've seen a few content creators that I followed a great deal disappear lately. They've just scrubbed their channels and they're not there. And it's sad. Some of these people I've learned so much from. And it's, it's just disenchanting. You don't know why they left. You don't know what went on. And, it's the same thing when you suddenly realize that, I've had a couple people ask me if I know why they're blocked from certain pages. And it's like, no, I have no idea at all. It's strange. I think some of it's the YouTube algorithms and horse shit out there as well. But could also be that I'm just rambling about this bullshit and I don't know what I'm talking about. That also is a real thing. Just throwing it out there. Going to pack up another bowl here. So I figure now's as good of a time as any. Oh, did you, Dallo? I knew some stuff was going on. They did that thing where there's now like numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the rooms and all of that stuff. But crab it, what's going on? It's pretty crazy. I didn't expect this many people tooling around right now. So I appreciate all of you and thanks for stopping in. This is great. Cheers, everybody. Don't forget to stay hydrated. You know, sip before you rip. Yeah, Phil, I know what you mean. That was, I didn't get it, and I still don't. You know, I learned so much from that man that my whole grow next year is going to be based off from a lot of, excuse me for coughing in your ear, but a lot of the stuff that I've learned from him, you know, it's, but this can be a vicious community. And yeah, you're right, Grab It. Sometimes people can't take jokes, you know? I mean, first time I went live, I was fucking terrified. I was like, God damn, man, I'm going to be the fucking, I don't know, it's going to get blasted by everyone. But we got a great and receptive community, and that never happened. But you're right. Some people can't take jokes. Some people can't take criticism and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know. I think all in all, we got a great community here. We really do. We got trolls. We got trolls that change their name every 2 minutes. But what do you get worried about, part-time? Just curious. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Oh, yeah, I know. I know. I don't listen to my lives again because I sound like a jackass. I know that, but, I appreciate you all stopping by and listening to my bullshit and whatnot. And, yeah, it's pretty nice. And it'll come with time, part-time. It will, it'll get easier as you go along. And it ends up being fun. All it takes is like one comment from someone, and it makes your day. Because, there's a gazillion people on YouTube. I appreciate them stopping by and looking at our videos and taking the time to talk to each other. Thanks, Scotty. I appreciate that. I really do. Did you part-time? Yeah, I tried to do like maybe one a week this. I wasn't even going to do one this week. And then I just decided, why not? And this is fine. This is great. The Aussie Grow Show and Growing with PTP. Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, Dallo, I think we all learned a lot from YouTube in a lot of different ways. I got to tell you, though, it's my go to for everything. I got to fix a light switch, YouTube. You know, I got to do something with my lawn with something that I don't know about or a new piece of equipment, YouTube. You know, cannabis questions, YouTube. You know, all that other stuff, YouTube. And the people that I've met on here are freaking tremendous. You know, I mean, in this community, to have people growing all over the world and being able to share that information with you pretty real time is impressive. Yo, Frank, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Just chilling out here. Decided I couldn't sleep, so I figured I'd come on live. Yeah, the bud porn is pretty cool, grab it. It is. And what I like about it is, no offense to genetics breeders or seed companies or anything like that, but you know, our pictures are real, right out of our fucking garden. It's not some cropped piece of horse shit stuck on a page that we can only hope in our wildest dreams our bud will ever look like. You know, we are the reality of the industry, which I think is pretty goddamn nice. What do we got going on here, Frank? Got a couple of blueberry muffin cuts last night, going to put them in my plant. Nice. I fucking love the blueberry muffin. It was one of the first strains I ever grew. All right, Scotty. Hey, you have a great day. Enjoy and be safe. Yeah, Dallo, I do like looking up the seeds that you want to buy from different growers. That is cool. I can tell you that, you know, I've been running a lot of different genetics, but none of them were really stellar, you know, name droppers or like that until I ordered my can. Once I ordered that, Seedsman sent me some genetics along with it. And I will tell you, I was pleased with the Seedsman genetics. I mean, they're autoflowers, but they're about 4 weeks old right now, getting ready to be transplanted, uh, and they're doing great. I got some other genetics from another company, Hooligan, that I originally got for a grow off, and these ones are Cargo Cartel, and for a outstandingish type of genetics company or up and coming genetics company, I was disappointed. You know, I don't know if they ran them out far enough from things that I've learned from people like Frank in Frank's Canna Lounge, who does some great explanations on genetic breeding and stuff like that. I don't think they pushed them out enough. I think they're like maybe only F2s. But I don't know. I'm not a breeder. I'm just a speculator on that. Oh, nice, Frank. Sorry, I'm just catching up. I was rambling like a jackass again. Let's see. Skunky to the air. I had to clone it. Absolutely. That's great. Part-time in planting, YouTube. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks, part-time. Oh, the fuck am I drinking soda for? I made myself coffee. I forgot all about it. Much better. Cheers, people. Okay. cool. You do both outdoor and indoor too? That's nice. Nice. When my winter run finished indoor, I decided to pull all my tents offline. I got a letter from my power company the other day, and it said, "Congratulations. You are now in line with all of your other neighbors and their utility costs." And I was like, of course, fuckers. I've had my grow tents on for the last 3 years. It's just kind of funny. Yeah, if it was back in Prohibition land, I'm sure they would have had a little more to say other than that. Especially when we came into here and I had, what, two 4x4s and two 2x2s going. It's just a little bit of energy draw there. Hey, good night, JC. Chill out, get some rest. Solar power and batteries, no kidding. I have thought about that because I have a 60 by 30 barn on my property, 2 floors, brand new roof on it. The only problem is it has no power to it. It's an older structure, but still the same. That's some definitely good real estate that I could be using. And I was wondering if solar would actually be a better plan for it. Instead of spending all the money to run power out there, I'd have to trench it underground because having it going from the house to the barn would be such a run. I'd need to put up 2 telephone poles. So, sorry, just catching up with the chat here. Isn't costing a lot. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to do that with our second panel box, Frank. We're going to get we're going to be testing that and having it checked. I had a problem in my other half of the house, which people saw or didn't see in some of my updates and whatnot, that I lost the power to one of my grow tents down there, which has subsequently been fixed. But yeah, I know that weak breakers and stuff like that can definitely cause you to pull juice, in excess. So time to rip again, of course. Time to replace your breakers, Tallow. Yeah, my first year I used heaters, but that was for my, excuse me, that was for my basement tent because, well, I started growing in November. It was my first tent. And, I was Johnny Panic about everything. you know, realizing I didn't need 90% of the stuff that I bought for my grow to begin with. So, everything from at that point, humidifier, dehumidifier, heaters, fucking, you name it. Had everything set up, dialed it all in, then realized I could turn half of it off and the tent held just fine and everything I needed numbers wise. So, yeah, you have to run, you have to run AC, Frank. I mean, I have central air in my house. So I think that balances that out, whereas I don't have to just specifically run AC in the tent itself. That's a problem that I haven't had to worry about too much. So I feel good about that. But then you also are running a hell of a lot more than I am. You've got more of a dedicated area. You got a lot more light than I do. So yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, make sure if you guys haven't, swing by Frank's and check out his page. He's got a great grow going on over there. A lot of interesting things. A lot of interesting things. I mean, for that matter, everybody check out everybody's page. You guys are all doing cool shit in your own way. Oh, nice. That's no problem, Frank. And if people get easily offended, don't. But Frank does tell it like it is. So if you got little baby ears, don't go over there. Sorry, Frank, but it's a true story. Not all of us can appreciate the truths of the cannabis world. Yeah, Phil, it is. It is. I think we're all here to have a good time and take things only as seriously as we can. Don't shit on each other. Be happy. You know. Hey, Frank, I know you're in upstate New York. Do they ever do anything, cannabis content creators or anything upstate New York? I know they do the Cannabis Cup downstate, I think it is, of some sort, or the Empire State Cannabis Cup, unless that's out of Syracuse. But do you know if they do anything to try to get people together here in upstate New York? Not that I can't travel to another state or downstate. I definitely can, but oh, that's awesome, Frank. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. 518 growers. Nice. Nice. Okay. That makes sense. Makes sense indeed. This is nice. Sun's going to be coming up soon. Be able to go out and check on the plants, which really won't be much of an issue because we got so much rain that I shouldn't have to worry about my morning watering. So that'll be real nice. I got to grind up a little weed. in my industrial grinder. Everybody needs one that's the size of the palm of their hand. Yep. True enough. Make sure everything didn't get beat to death in the rain. It did come down hard, but I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm out in the country, so. Oh, I bet it was, Frank. Because you're way up there. You're like way up higher than I am. So, yeah. Wonder if we'll get any fallout from it today here. It's got to be brutal up there. But I heard they're not really doing a lot about doing anything to resolve it. So, I don't know. That's a little crazy to me, but I guess it's in an area where it's not inhabited or anything like that. So there's no real stressor for anybody to, hop on it and take care of it. So. Time to grind. Time to grind. Sorry. Oh, I heard it has been Dallow. That I have heard. We've been spared. Everybody around us has had, awful wind, to the point of almost tornadoes and hail and everything else right here in New York. And we've been spared. And I feel good about that. I really do. Canada is slacking. They have no plans to stop it. Yeah, it's got to be brutal on the lungs. I remember a couple years ago, we had it come in bad. And yeah, you couldn't even be outside. It was like breathing in a campfire. It was hideous. Yeah, some places here in New York did get flooded. That they did. I feel good on the fact that where I live, I'm on the top of the crest of the hill. So, and also for me to flood here, the lake would have to rise 150 feet, 200 feet, something like that. Just the difference between where I am and when you go down to where the water actually is. So, yeah, Frank, tornadoes are some scary shit. I encountered one when I lived in Connecticut, which, yeah, I know, Connecticut. Who the fuck gets tornadoes in Connecticut? Well, when I lived there, they had one. And yeah, that's some scary shit. Really is. I will tell you one thing that's interesting after a tornado, and that is when you walk outside, everything smells green and fresh and new. I lived in Waterbury, Connecticut at the time, which is not a nice place. And all I could think of was the city finally got the douching from Mother Nature that it deserved, And it was, but yeah, I'll never forget that smell. It was pretty crazy. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, ba boom. Cheers again. Yeah, true enough. Cheers, everybody. So I am smoking on some WPSG times Slurricane. And I will tell you, this stuff smells straight up like cat piss. Like somebody whipped the litter box into my grinder. And that's how it smelled the whole entire time I grew it. I actually had to put it in a different room because I had it in my living room grow tent. And I was spending every day apologizing to my wife that the house smelled like cat piss when we don't have cats. So she said it didn't bother her, but I just felt bad. You know, every day you walk in the house and you get punched in the face with weed and then cat piss. So, but that's a good problem to have when you got something that smells that nice. I don't know. I like the fruity smells like your blueberry muffins and like that. And then I like the really smelly, stinky, funky toe jam, stuff like that. Yeah, it is. It is pretty good. And I think I still have one or two seeds left. So probably going to grow it again and pull a clone and see, what I can do with that. Replicate it again. I ended up with, I don't remember who it was from. I want to say that I got those seeds actually from I was in that I Can THC seed club for a while with Matt from over there when I first got into this. And I got some seeds from him that were a lot of tester genetics. So that's happened to be one of them. I have heard that the Slurricane standalone is great. Great. Somebody had told me that, and correct me if I'm wrong, they had stated that a lot of the Slurricanes have that pissy smell to them. I don't know if that's fact, fiction, or otherwise, because this is the first anything with Slurricane in it that I've had. Maybe I live in a sheltered world. I don't know. Yeah, I think testers can be good. They can be good, they can be fun. And what's neat is it's not like there's a million people doing them or having them. So that's the fun part, too. No, Frank, but you've been creating a lot of your own, which takes time. Not that you can't just, oops, must be 5 o'clock. One of my alarms just went off. Uh, yeah, but you like working on your mutts, as you call them. And yeah, yeah. In-house, huh? I'm gonna have to go over and take a look around in there, see what they have going on. I generally don't do a lot of seed buying because I have a lot of seeds right now. Again, not all the greatest genetics in the world, but still the same stuff that I want to run. Somebody sent me a bunch of seeds that I won when I first started on here. And Wild Bill, what's going on? I'll get back to the seeds in 1 second. Let me just mount up Wild Bill here. There we go. And I won X number of seeds. It came up to 40, and it was 4 different strains, 10 seeds of each, which was fine. These were all lemon-based strains. There was Lemon Freak Show, Lemon Octane, Lemon this, Lemon that. And I was like, cool, this is great. So I got the seeds, which is fine, appreciated, glad I won them. They were all regs, which is fine. And then as I was frequenting this person's channel, which is no longer there, they're not around anymore, and he was explaining to everybody, that this was his first run on seeds, I realized they were F1s. Planted a bunch of them, not a single plant looked the same. 8 out of 10 were males, and the other 2 were just so, I don't know, they were like broken genetics. That's the only way I can explain it. It was just like looking at broken genetics. So, I wasn't thrilled with that. I don't know if I'm going to play around with those again, but that was a little experience that I had with winning something that I didn't realize what it was. Maybe it was my own fault. I was new to all of this at that point in time, but it's just different indeed. You spend a lot of time and money on your grow, and it's nice if what you're purchasing is definitely what you're going to be getting, or what you win, or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you're trying to establish yourself as a breeder, Did I keep a journal for it for what I grew? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've got this it's my handy dandy garden log book that I track everything in. I agree with that, Dallo. I really do. You get a pack of seeds, or you get 3 seeds in this little teeny plastic piece of shit thing that sometimes when you open it up, they fly all over the place. And then you've got to go on the internet and research how long this thing flowers for and all this other stuff, which, yes, you could have researched all that ahead of time, but are you going to remember it all? Probably not. And it'd be nice to have it there a little more upfront. I know Humboldt did it for a while on the outside of their seed packages. It would tell you everything, which was really nice. But I haven't bought those in a long time, so I don't know. Okay, Frank, that makes sense. Yeah, get on that, Wild Bill. You got to stay up on that, man. Because you know what? There is nothing worse than trying to play catch up in your grow journal. It's like, oh, I'll remember it and write it down later. And then you go in and you have nothing for 2 days. It's like, wow, I feel like an imbecile. That's true, Gravitt. Very true. Oh, that's kind of crazy, Frank. But okay. I guess that would make sense. I can attest to what Frank's saying because I saw his notebook the other day with, I think it was a freak show leaf that you had in it. And it looks crazy, but yeah, I saw that. Well, congratulations on getting married, Wild Bill. I did not know that. So, hey, hats off to you. That's awesome. The plants, well, if they're photos, they'll bounce the fuck back. They're forgiving. Uh, oh, got to trim another plant? Well, is that a hanging plant? Excuse me one second. Somebody's texting me. And I'm uncertain who it is at this time in the morning, unless it's my son. Yep, my son's getting ready to head off to work. So I think I just scared the shit out of him by messaging him back when he messaged me. Nice. It's kind of starting to get light out here a little bit. Yeah, I already packed up another bowl. And I'm thinking it's probably time for a little ripping again. So, cheers, everybody. Oh, by the way, this badass bong, we picked it up for 45 bucks the other day. One of our local shops is no longer going to be doing glass, and the thing fucking glows in the dark. It really blew me away. So, it's pretty cool. All right, that's fair. Wow, Bill, let's smoke a little more and then you can get back to your trimming. I appreciate you taking time away from it to sit in here and chat with us. Hey, it's what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. We're just taking a rip right now, so feel free to join us. Oh, that's cool, Bill. Excuse me. That's cool. That your checkered one glows. Nice. Don't forget to sub up to each other in here. I know most of you already have, but anybody who's new coming in. Overthinking life. Yeah, we all probably do that. Well, and smoking some cannabis, of course. What a better way to be at whatever time it is there for you, 5:10 in the morning for me. Ha ha! Some hash from Trim Gloves. Nice. Oh, you're home, Scotty. Nice. Nice, nice. Now you can pull up and fire up. Boob it doo 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 doo. Yeah, welcome home, Scotty. Kick back and put your feet up. Paranormal, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. 3:12 a.m., Scotty. Dang. Oh, Colorado. Yeah. That's right. My daughter's out there. She's getting ready to come back home in about, I don't know what the hell's today, the 27th, 2 weeks. So she's been out there for 2 years getting her master's degree. So, yeah. 10:12 in the morning, paranormal. Okay. Z-Bud. What's good? Thanks for swinging in. Let's get you modded up. There we go. Yeah, no kidding. Cheers to the UK. See, again, you get people here from all over the United States and all over the world, and it's just fucking great, I think. Yeah, my son's texting me right now. He's like, Dad, why the fuck are you up and what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I normally get up at 5. He's like, yeah, but I see you're already online and you're live. I'm like, yep, that's how it goes. Hey, Sauce 420, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. Cool. It's going well. Going very well. We're just kicking back, smoking. We are, 6 minutes away from 5:20, which means it's going to be 4:20 somewhere. So we will have to rip again for those who are still here. Bring this back over. Beep. Hey, no problem, it's. Sauce, I was like that too. And finally, I decided, that old adage or saying, just rip it off like a band aid. And I just did it. I just picked some weird time and just said, fuck it, because I made 1,000 excuses not to go on. Oh, if I go on, this other content creator is going to be on, or this friend of mine is going to be doing a live or whatever. And I just decided to pick some weird time and I did it. And it was freaking great. I couldn't believe the community, couldn't believe how great everybody was. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Wild Bill, I do. I do set something on top. It used to be a $50 that I used, but now I use, I don't know what this is. It's this little thing. I don't know. We found it in some box of stuff. I think it's supposed to be a little thing from Disney World or something. We think that it was supposed to be a mouse or some shit like that. But needless to say, whatever it is, it sits on top of my bowl now. So when I set it over to the side, I can just put it out. Go with the flower farm. Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. Playing cards. Have a metal card. Hey, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. That's got to be pretty kind of cool. A metal card. I like that. I think some cats do think they're dogs. I've seen cats that fetch better than dogs. None of my 3 dogs fetch, but my daughter's cat will fetch. Or, excuse me, the dogs will fetch when they want to, 2 times and then they're done. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is that like one of those metal cards that you can put in your wallet and it's got like all these different features on it? Because I have one of those in my wallet if it is. And I've got an extra one somewhere else. And I'm going to have to keep that in mind. That might be a better choice for the top of my bowl. Just because then it's multi-purpose. We're at the 2-minute countdown. 2 minutes till 5:20. The card with the grinder on it. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. You should reach out to the company that makes it and see if they want to use that as a couple of selling points and get them on some freaking merchandise sites or something with 420, engraved in the side of them. Wow, we've been kicking it back for about an hour so far. Oh, I can hear the birds chirping outside. They must be deciding it's getting to be time to wake up. They say, oh, there we go. It is 5:20, so we're going to say it's 4:20 somewhere. Cheers, everybody. That is nice, Bill. That is. It's got little wrench slots in it. Hey, good call, Frank. That's true. That is true. You can just go right up on there, chat for a few minutes, swing down if you don't feel comfortable, but at least it gives you a chance to get up there. Yeah, nice. Well, excuse me a quick second. For bed up. For anybody who didn't hear me earlier, I'm in upstate New York, about 20 minutes from Syracuse, right on Lake Ontario. Virginia, I've got my ex-sister-in-law lives down there. I lived down there for a couple of years. I lived in Virginia Beach and Newport News. That was back in the 80s. Oh, nice. It's pretty there. Very pretty. My ex-sister-in-law who lives in Virginia, her family is actually from Glens Falls, and they own almost 100 acres in the Adirondacks, which is insane. The parents have since passed away, so all that's left is the kids, and they all own that property, so it's pretty amazing. Oh, nice. You're near West Virginia? Cool. Cool indeed. Never been there. Never been to West Virginia. North Carolina. I have driven through both the Carolinas, but never really stayed for any extended amount of time. Well, hopefully they can hold on to it as long as they can. You know, says a lot today for people to still have vast pieces of property with everything being bought up and built up. Yep, you're right, Eds. Yep, 100%. That's why when we bought our house a few years ago, we're in the middle of 5 acres. So it's nice. And probably 4 of that is woods, which is nice. Also makes it a lot less of how much shit I have to mow every week. So there's that too. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Yep, sauce. That is true. Pines of Trinity. Nice. Wonder what I should do for breakfast this morning. It's either going to be eggs and bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant. Or I have chocolate and Bavarian cream filled donuts, which are really good too. Decisions. I have not been to Cali before. I have heard it's interesting out there, expensive out there, but has a lot more to offer to the cannabis community than some other places. My favorite sandwich George breakfast sandwiches. I'm closed all summer. Yeah, it's nice when stuff opens back up. You know, especially for the summer. We've got a place called Rudy's here where I live, and I don't know, people come from all over the place to go eat there. It's right on the water, and but it's seasonal, so it's one of those things that people complain also every year. They go back and they're like, "Oh my God, did you see their prices?" And it's like, yeah, but I don't eat there every fucking day. I go there once, maybe twice a summer. You know, it's not going to break the bank, and it's good food. So there we go. That piece of my rant is over. Grab some hermit life these days. Yeah, sauce. Yeah. That probably would have been a good idea for me when I got up, Bill, but that was at like 2:30 in the morning. I should have had something to eat then. But it'll make me enjoy. Oh man, sorry, gotta stop what I was saying. I just saw sausage biscuit. Sausage biscuit could be good. Or sausage biscuits and gravy. That could be good too. Or biscuits and sausage gravy. Croissant. Ha ha ha. Like they used to make in France. Yeah, that's right. You work nights, Bill. I forgot about that. Well, lunch. Nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. So, I have these bird feeders outside. One which has a webcam built into it, which is pretty cool. That was why when somebody asked me one day about the number of birds that come into my yard, because I talked about how they do a great job on IPM for me. And that feeder itself gets approximately 230 to 250 birds a day, if not 280. And at that point in time, there's at least 10 other birds on the ground or in the other feeders that don't get caught on the cam. So, you know, upwards of 800 plus birds in and out of the yard. And I have all the bird feeders all around all my plants, and they're just doing a great job of it. So, I don't know. That was me talking about. Oh, my point was my camera just went off, even though it's dark out, and the birds are already going to my feeder this morning. So, it's pretty cool. Oh, that's nice, Dallo. I saw my first hummingbirds here the other day, and I was ecstatic. I felt like a tard actually, because I'm like, why am I getting so excited over these birds? But they're pretty cool and they help me out, so I gotta appreciate them. Grab it. Birds aren't real. Okay. That's funny. Sorry, I'm still laughing at that. Birds aren't real. I'll have to tell that to my sister today. She's a bird fanatic. She'll get a kick out of that. Train is a crazy cool way to travel for anybody who hasn't done it. I'll tell you. The things you see, the places you go, the cities you drive through, the giant, back the last time I took the trains, there were large, what were termed as gypsy camps that ran all along the railroad. And it was phenomenally amazing just seeing these gigantic tent cities that they had built. It was pretty interesting. Huh. One thing I can say is, aside of getting some weed brought to me from Maine that came directly from Maine, I've had weed from Connecticut, like 100% in Connecticut, and Rhode Island as well, and obviously New York. But where I specifically was in the state and know where the grown weed came from and the person, yeah, just those states. Maybe Massachusetts too. Nothing about the outdoor in Trinity. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's true. That is true. One of the main reasons that I started growing, one was so I could have my own weed, but the other part was so I knew what was in my weed, because things got really sketchy up here, and people were doing a lot of bad things with weed. So, you know, and the prices were outrageous, absolutely outrageous. So, what are you laughing at, Sauce? True enough. Excuse me a second. Let's see here. There we are. Wow. Apparently, my brother sent me like 20 Facebook reels overnight. I can't begin to think of what could be that important that he had to send them to me overnight. He lives in Tennessee. It's a fucking couple-hour difference. I will agree with that, Frank. 100%. 100%. I've got an opportunity. It was supposed to take place last week, but this coming week to go see a farm that is here in Phoenix, New York, that actually supplies to a number of dispos. And I don't know. I want to go take a look at it and see. The guy reached out to me. I didn't reach out to him. It was a mutual thing, whereas my son knew him. And yeah, so we got the invite, and yeah, we're going to go check it out. Be my first time ever going to a facility. So big or small, still the same. It'll be cool to see. Yeah, grab it. That's fair. That is fair. I mean, hell, let's think about it. It is just a weed, you know? Oh, that spray terpenes is shit. Absolute shit. And what's even worse is how cheap they're making the terpenes now, the spray terpenes. So, anybody who's not reputable about anything they're doing is probably going to take that shortcut, which is shitty, you know? Shitty indeed. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. I have smoked brickweed before, but I was not into growing back then. So, I could kick myself in the ass for all the seeds I got rid of over the years because, back when I started off, hell, if you weren't getting brickweed or tie stick, when you'd buy, a nickel or a dime bag, your weed came already ground and it had tons of shit in it, sticks, stems. Might as well find fucking rocks in there. But that's how it was back then. Nobody was bringing you nugs or anything like that. So, different times. PDT is all over the place. PDT customers, cheaper products. Yeah. Short bushes or Christmas trees, one or the other. It doesn't surprise me, Frank. It really doesn't. Though, it's not that I turn a blind eye to it, but it just once again makes it that if I'm not going to have it the way it's supposed to be made or in its purest form, without all this bullshit isolates or, like you're talking about using the BDT lemon terpenes, you know, I might as well make my own, make my own concentrates to the level that I can within reason and just enjoy that. It's not settling on it. It's if the other isn't available and I can't find a reputable source, unfortunately, you know, that's that's the route my stubborn ass will take. I mean, it's not like I don't do bubble hash. It's not like I don't have a press. I just don't do that stuff all the time. I mean, you know, just no flavor. Indoor is tough. Unless there are many factors, cannot diagnose it right away. you can always throw it out to the community and see what sort of support they can give you. I mean, we got a wealth of knowledge between all of us, and usually what somebody else doesn't know, somebody else does, or we know someone who knows the answer. Huh. I didn't know that, Frank. Did not know that. I mean, I knew that silica can cause rock lung, but I didn't know the first part. Absolutely grab it. Absolutely. And I don't care what anybody says. When you're pressing your own or doing any form of extraction on your own product, damn, it's good. It really, really is. Providing what you're putting in is quality to begin with, but still the same. First time I ever pressed anything, aside of getting so high it wasn't even funny, it was like high school high, which granted could have been in my head for all I know, but I can tell you it didn't last long, such as the concentrates I made, because we burned through it in a day, because it was that good. Yeah, true. True, Dallo. I'm gonna have to check out your page. Do you have plants and everything posted on your page? Let me see if I can do this a different way here. See if I can. I don't know if this is gonna let me do this. No, I was going to try to go into my own live so I could go to your page, but I'll have to do it afterwards. Oh, okay. I'll check it over on Insta then. Cool. Cool, cool. Yeah, see, and I do like nothing on Instagram. So it's something that I got to get used to. That for me is a technology wahoo that I don't know. I'm sure it's easy. I'll just use one of my kids to explain it to me and then I'll figure it out and we'll go forwards. Found a pretty good sketchy shop that sells some decent live. It's very dark, but it's tasty. Dark, let me know they're not using bleaching agents. Yeah, I have it's funny that you say dark and really good. My the hell is he? My nephew, godson actually. uh he does not grow anymore, but he has somebody that he buys from. All he does is makes concentrates. And the other day I was over there, and I got to tell you, him and I have been at odds for 15 years, maybe something like that. He just chose not to talk to me, and I was like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. So I was over at the house the other day doing something for my dad, and he came out, starts talking to me. Next thing I know, he's like, hey, Uncle Michael, do you want to sample my wares? He whips out a fucking nectar collector and freaking a baller jar full of freaking fresh press. And he's like, here, hit this. Don't do a lot of it or you're going to go to sleep. Well, I didn't do a lot of it, but I'll tell you, it was really good. But it was so dark that anybody who would have went and bought it like in a shop would have been like, this is shit. But it wasn't. So, I don't know. I'm sure he could have made it a little cleaner in some way, shape, or form. But on the other side of it, why bother? It's good. Didn't taste harsh. Didn't make me, well, of course I coughed because I fucking did it like an asshole and did way too much. But yeah. He switched to CRC out of nowhere. Yeah. See, and I think that if they're going to do something like that, they should megally inform the public, not just sneak it in and say, oh, by the way, at a later point in time, suddenly disclose that. It's almost time to make a cup of coffee. Well, I think I got an idea here. I'm going to do a bong rip. And then, damn, that was loud. Bong rip. Then I'm going to grab myself a cup of coffee and hang out here for a little bit more. All right, Scotty. Back. Showered. De-workified. You had to wash the work off yourself. Cheers, everyone. Excuse me, I'm choking to death here. I can tell that I'm high because I was reading the chat and I was just going to reply in it because I forgot I was fucking live. All right, grab it. We'll catch you later. Thanks for swinging in. I appreciate it a great deal. Morning, Bob. How we doing? So, Scotty, you're a cook. All that nasty grease. Let me tell you, from a former food service worker who spent 23 years as an executive chef, I appreciate you and all the fucking time and effort and hard-ass work you do. So, thanks. Bob, what is going on this morning? Yeah, make sure you guys sub up to one another. I appreciate you doing that. It's pretty awesome. And hit that like too if you can remember to. I appreciate it. Let's do this. Let's get Bob all squared away here. There we go. Cool. Cool indeed. There you go. So, listening to us on the travel to work. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what it does for the algorithm world, but obviously, like, share, and subscribe must mean something to YouTube. I was thinking the other day, I was remembering when I got my first 10 subscribers, and I was like dancing on rooftops because none of any of this I just lost my whole fucking train of thought. So, oh, no, I was going to say me even going lives on here or anything, all I ever wanted to do was just throw some pictures of my plants up. That was it. And just have people check them out. So it's just kind of cool being able to do a lot more than just that. Do have a card game on each week. You can win a free pack of beans each week. That's right. That's right. Scotty does do that. And I got to do a better job of getting my ass over there since I don't. And I apologize for that, but I'll do a better job. I would see if I can win myself some beans. Oh, that's nice, Scotty. 4 bean companies. That's great. That is great. That's nice. That's good. Well, it's still raining out there. Let's see here. There we go. Sorry, it's my son again. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to grab a quick cup of coffee. I will be right back. Alexa, turn all lights off.
Okay.
All right, I am back. See, what did I miss here? When do you think the next drop will be, Frank? I had a question for you since you're on here. Like, from beginning to end, how long does it take to get from F1 to F5? Okay, cool. Fall's not that far away. Nice. Huh. Year to a year and a half. Okay. I don't know. In my head, for some reason, I'm like thinking it out to be longer. But again, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, or do 120 days. So 4 times. Okay. Okay. All right. Wow. I can honestly say I appreciate all the breeders out there and the people that go on these pheno hunts. I think it's fantastic. I personally know I'm learning about it, but I'm learning about it so I can talk intelligently and I'm not ignorant about it. Will I ever do it? No. Not unless it accidentally happens and I end up pollinating something and decide it's so fucking cool I have to do it forever. But, and you never know, that could happen. Yeah. Yeah, it does, Sauce. It does. That's why I said I can understand why it would be a full time job for a company. You know, just that would be their specialty. Oh, I didn't even think about that, Frank. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I just think about how many plants you run for a pheno hunt and just to even, I don't know, just to get where you got to be. Yeah, plant count, which, I mean, it's 100 plants is a lot of fucking plants. And yeah, you are breaking the law, at least here in New York State. I don't think anybody else has a plant count that high without a license of some way, shape, or form. But which is interesting because you would think if you want to open up a genetics company, there has to be some sort of loophole that they can jump through to do that. here in New York. I know we have genetic companies in New York, so they've got to be doing something. Yeah, I think Scotty Frank was saying at least 100 plants. 1,000 would be insane. That would be insane. Oh, I had to flip this channel a second real quick. Go back. There we are. Sorry about that. Coffee's pretty damn good, I must say. Thank goodness for the Keurig, since it'll blow out a cup in like 33 seconds now. Right, pheno, but getting it right is a beast within itself. Yeah, I am sure you are correct. Again, I have not educated myself enough on it yet to really be able to speak on it. Again, just what I get off from other people's channels that are what do I want to say? Where people do know what they're talking about, that you can fact check, stuff like that. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to fire up the bong again, and I'm going to hang out here for, I don't know, about another 12, 13 minutes. I'll round this off to 2 hours, and then I'm going to go make some breakfast and see what else is going on in the wonderful world of YouTube this morning. Gonna have to pack another one. Didn't put my little topper on it, and unfortunately, I have it burned itself out. Maybe not with pheno. We're getting the right pheno. Yeah, sauce. Yeah, I was talking about that a little bit earlier, sauce. Just things, genetics falling apart is the only way I can explain what I see. You know, you're growing out 3 seeds from the same company, and one's got 3 leaves, one's got 5, one's got 7. Then you turn around, one's bushy, one's so fucking tall you gotta thin the top of it because it won't fit under your light anymore. And the third one's just a piece of shit. So yeah, it happens. Those examples were all from experience, by the way. My first run of White Widow was freaking phenomenal. Had really tall plants, got a huge yield, everything else. Next time I ran the same genetics, I planted 3 of them, and they all broke apart. It was like something out of fucking the movie The Fly. I had brundleweed. You have to restart the F1. Okay. Huh. I'm guessing you got to have a good eye for that. Know what you're looking for. I'll tell you something. When it comes to being able to pick males from an extremely early age, my son is like the male whisperer. He'll come over and he'll look at the plants and be like, Dad, that's a fucking male. I'm like, no, it isn't. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, it looks like all the other ones. No, it looks fucked up. It's a male. Sure shit, 2 days later, it's a male. You know? And he does this when they're super, super young. It's crazy. Kid's got a good eye on him for that and a good nose on him for terps. Man, can he pick shit out of a fucking blindfold him and let him just sniff shit and he'll tell you what it is. It's crazy. Or at least nail the terps. Okay, Frank. Trying to trust my bag seeds more than my seed provider. I could see that. Sometimes you do get some. I don't know. I have always tried to grow out anything that comes in a bag. You got a 50-50 chance. It's either going to be shit or it's not, or a 50-50 chance it's going to grow or it's not going to grow. There's that too. Yeah, there you go. Frank saying the same thing that you just said, Sauce. Yeah, Rhodes agrees. It's true. It is true. At least with that bag seed what you just smoked. Cheers, everybody. Excuse me. It was a good rip. Yeah, Sauce. You guys, the sun is making its fuck, making its way up here. So yeah, yep. Yeah, what time is it there, Sauce? Oh, there you go. Yeah, yep. Yeah, it is. It is a trip, and we're all part of it. That we are. And is that necessarily a bad thing, Frank? Like if you're growing out a seed from a hermaphrodite, or is that generally what bag seeds were back in the day as well? Okay. All right. So here's my question. Is it worthwhile to grow or no? Because you don't want to risk it on having it self-pollinate again. I mean, from the standpoint of what if it really is some fire fucking weed? Sorry, one of my dogs is spinning around in circles and I really have no idea why. But I can just hear his little feet walking around in his crate 1,000 times a minute. So it's either that or he's going to spin around so much he wears a hole in the bottom of it. But alrighty, well, I see things are emptying out. It's 6:13. Big thank you to everybody that came into the channel this morning. This has been great. I'll stay on for about another minute and a half and just wrap this up at the 2-hour mark, I think. Shouldn't be too bad. Hey, we're just off by an hour, that's all. It's going to be good morning for me. I'm going to stay up. I've been up since 2:30, so it works. It works indeed. All right. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. You guys have a fantastic day, and thank you. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Yes, Bob, it is raining here. All right, I'll catch you guys later.